Alright, so a lot of stuff is in this quad. I'll start over here though. On the right we have FORT, which is our interdisciplinary research center. So a lot of students do undergraduate research. I know we have a biology pre-med student, so a lot of biology students do research with their faculty mentors. So that's just a matter of asking your professors, what research are you doing, and if it aligns with your interests. That's an amazing thing to put in your resume and be able to present at conferences and things of that nature. So a lot of labs in there. We also have a patent lawyer, so there's faculty that are creating new inventions and getting published. So that's something huge and really cool to be a part of. Over here we have our 3 engineering buildings. So we have Monroe, Graham, and McNair. And so kind of like Craig and Merritt for business, these engineering buildings are connected, and you'll have all of your classes here pretty much outside of like the math, science, engineering classes here. Something really cool about these buildings is we have 2 maker spaces, and so maker spaces are where you go to get your 3D CAD drawings printed out with the 3D printer, or you can even go to just be like, is this possible? Can I make this? And they'll get materials for you to build things. So we have a lot of design projects that we have throughout our matriculation, and so it's cool to have that support here. Also, we have a lot of companies who come here looking to hire A&T students for engineering with jobs. So they'll be in our lab space, our lobby space. You can just, as you're passing by, introduce yourself. So yeah, I really, as a biomedical engineering student, I really feel like they prepared me for life after college. Like I said, a lot of companies looking for us. And we're applying our knowledge within the classroom, outside of the classroom, through design projects and stuff. So any questions about engineering or FORT? Alright. Also, we don't have to walk, but this is Gibbs Hall, so that's where we have our criminal justice classes, our pre-law classes, sociology, and also our office for the graduate school. So all that is in Gibbs Hall. Really cool place. My freshman, sophomore year, I was thinking about going the pre-law route after engineering. And so I was a part of our mock trial team very briefly, and then also our National Black Law Student Association. So I can attest to them really. Every organization has amazing programs, and they help you with life after graduation as far as connecting you. So we would have panels with like attorneys. Some of them go to conferences. So really get involved in like departmental organizations or just interest organizations, just because it's amazing just to know the opportunities out there. Any questions before we move on? Another one of our Aggie shuttles. What I want to talk about, if you see in the far distance, we have that tall building with the glass panels. So that's our newest building on campus called Eric, or the Martin Complex. And so that's going to be a space for kind of like innovation is kind of like the theme with it. So they have study rooms in there. They have a lot of research labs. And this kind of spaces for you to be creative. So they might even have a maker space in there. It's kind of going to be like a student center with like a STEM twist, open to all students if you kind of want to be in that environment. And also some professors will be moving their offices to there. So I'm really excited. It's a huge building, so I'm really excited to see what all is in there. Also, I think opening another cafeteria in there. So kind of, we have a women's dining hall, but if you're more on this side of campus, another food option is available. So it's, a lot of the engineering professors will be moving over there, but it's open to all students. And they're given a $90 million grant to make that, so it's huge.
Where is the engineering building?
Yeah, so that's going to be our next stop. It's going to be in another quad along with our criminal justice building, Gibbs, where we also have our graduate, and what really changed the tone of the civil rights movement. And so that all started here in Greensboro. And so eventually the lunch counter got desegregated, and it's currently a part of our Civil Rights Museum here. And on A&T's campus, it's a huge point of pride because we really stand on the platform of civil engagement. So every year we celebrate them in our February 1 celebration. So in the past, it would be in person. We would have a breakfast, a speaker, and you actually could take pictures with the living members. And now it's virtual, so we have a video commencement with them just to highlight their bravery and courage and impact that they made. So that's the A&T Fort. As you can see in the Village Quad, they're named after the A&T Fort. Richmond, McCain, Blair, and McNeil. So behind we have Dudley Memorial Building. So it used to be the main administrative building, but now it's being used as our university art gallery, where we have a lot of African collections, and also A&T students who have art feature in there as well. Also, we have our polling site here. So our Student Government Association is very active, and they do a really good job at seeing where there's a need and trying to alleviate that gap and fill it. So one of the gaps here was our university used to be split into 2 different districts when it comes to voting. And so as an incoming student, especially out of state, that can be confusing because you don't know which district you're in and where you can vote. And so they work with legislators, and they got it to where we could all be one district and have a polling site here that A&T students and the surrounding community can come to. And so that was huge. It happened around my sophomore year. And throughout the year, we have voter registration events. Sometimes we make them fun. It's like a block party feel. Or they go into the residence halls just to make sure that you're registered to vote when it comes to that time. So definitely a lot of great stuff happening here on campus. Last thing, so if you'll notice on the Dudley Memorial Building sign, do you see anything that looks different? Yes, so the U's are V's. E is the Roman numeral for 5. The 5th letter of the alphabet is E, which stands for excellence. So here I'll also say that Aggie Pride is not just a saying, it's an acronym, meaning achieving great goals in everything, producing renowned individuals dedicated to excellence. So for me, I really felt that when I came here on campus. I knew that I'd be nurtured, and I feel like everything has a deeper meaning here, and there's so much history, so much excellence on campus. I love it here, so I hope that y'all feel that too. Like I said, we have student showcases, so we've had like Aggie Night at the Apollo. They have different names. We had a lip sync competition called Fake It Till You Make It. So really, if you have any talent, just want to put yourself out there, this is where you can do it. They also have stand-up comedy. So we have an organization called Aggie Night Live, and so they'll have kind of like sketch comedy. You can go there for a good laugh with friends. But that's Harrison. And again, all tickets are free at the ticket office. Alright, so let's keep moving. Alright, so this is Murphy Hall. So Murphy Hall has a lot of student services, 3 of which I'll talk about. So we have our new student programs. So that's who will be reaching out to you about your orientation sessions. So once you go to orientation, they'll have another tour. You'll have a lot of kind of like introductory sessions in Harrison. And my advice is to go to the earliest one as possible, because that's where you also register for classes and get your roommate pin and stuff to get your room. So definitely go to the earliest one if possible. Also in here, we have our counseling services. So counseling services are free, including your tuition, no additional cost. And that's huge because outside of college, therapy is very expensive. But here you can find a counselor that you work best with, someone that you trust, just to talk about any academic or social stressors that you may have. Also, they have, if you want to have like a focus group, and maybe not like a one-on-one, but connect with other students with the same struggles, they have those support groups here as well. And of course, still confidential, and they really treat you like you're getting therapy, even outside of college. So here we have also our Office of Career Services. So kind of going back to the Fall Career Fair, they have things like mock interviews you can sign up for. All the time, recruiters are coming here with opportunities, and the only way you would know about them is if you come here and ask about them. So definitely when you come here, introduce yourself, get your resume critiqued, and you'll be amazed at how many opportunities you get here. I know my freshman year, I went to resume critique and just got, what's going well with my resume, what I can improve on. And so going into the career fair, I felt really confident. So yeah, all of that is in Murphy Hall. New student programs, counseling services, and then Office of Career Services. Write that like as far as you can. Because some people, they get to homecoming and they all out of flex, so they gotta go to the cafeteria, and that's not the life you want to live. So definitely like spread it out if you can. And it renews every semester, so that's something else. You get 350 for each semester. But yeah, that's enough about meal plans. Williams Dining Hall. So as you can see, we have a line. You would go up, and once you get in there, you're open to a lot of different lines. So straight ahead, we have our dessert line. That's where you go for cookies, ice cream. There's breakfast, they have smoothies and parfaits. Behind it, we have our entree line. So that's the line that you can out the bed. We always have like hamburgers and fries. And something cool about our cafeteria, you can ask for like turkey burger, black bean burger, veggie burger. If you like don't eat meat, or want a substitution. So that's something else you can do here at the cafeteria. On the right side, we have our international line. We have our pizza and salad line. On the left, we have our deli and soup line. So a lot of different options here. I've made a lot of great memories here. My friends, we all come here to eat and then just have great conversations. So you'll see there's like some tables with 4 people. They have long tables for like 10 people. So definitely recommend you go here, even if you don't know anyone. There's so much you might walk out with like friends because you just had a great conversation. So definitely take advantage of our cafeteria. It's a great environment. And they used to have like DJs on Fridays for Fried Chicken Friday. So I'm hoping to get back to that. So like we had a kickball tournament here. My freshman year we had like a Olympics with the different classifications. We all wore like a different color shirt, and it's had like events. So honestly, I don't always know what's going on, but there's always some type of game going on. So it's just cool if you have a free evening, just hop in and meet people. So this is Holland Bowl. Our next stop is Williams Dining Hall. But just talking about this type of residence style living. So it's suite style and it's co-ed. So basically a suite will have either 4 or 5 people. And so that's either 4 singles or 3 singles and then a double at the end. And then within the suite you have 2 bathroom spaces. Of course, the living space, tables, microwaves, and microwaves. And that comes in every room as well. Also talking about residence halls, they all have laundry, of course, and so you don't need coins. It's all on your Ag1 card, including your tuition. So just swipe when you want to wash, swipe when you dry, and things of that nature. Also, some of them have kitchens. So Blair and McNeil do have a kitchen. I think one of the other residence halls on the south side also has a kitchen. But all that's going to be online as well. Also, they have study rooms, so if you want to study outside of your room but not have to go too far, like to the library, you can still have that environment here. Some residence halls have TV rooms, so my freshman year we would watch movies in there together. We have couches, so definitely a really cool living and learning space. Like I said, we can't go into them due to the pandemic right now, but we do have pictures online if you want to see like what the rooms look like in each residence hall. And also we have RAs, so every residence hall has RAs, and so they're people who make sure that like you're taking care of yourself, you have an environment that you can, that you're just flourishing as a college student. So they'll have programs for you. They'll definitely be supported here. But any questions about residence style living? Alright, and like I said, they're co-ed, so that means like the suite will all be the same gender, but maybe across the hall or the next suite over will be a different gender. Alright, so this is our reflection pool. So I'll just take a moment because it's a lot of history right here. So this is really where we go to commemorate any Aggie lives that may have been lost. And so it's a beautiful place, but it's also really somber and heavy. So the history behind it is Scott Hall used to be right here. Back in the 60s, there was a student at Dudley High School who was running for student body president, and being an African American in that time, there was a lot of pushback. And so A&T students getting word of that, they started a protest in support of him to help him get the position that he deserved and earned. Well, the National Guard got word of that, and they actually shot into Scott Hall on campus. So you'll see the 4 spots still have the bullet holes. And so we did lose an Aggie that day, and so that's why we have this memorial to commemorate his life and then Aggie's lives afterwards that we have lost. So yeah, that's the history behind it. Really sad, but we try to make it a celebration of life too. So sometimes we'll have balloon releases, the gospel choir will sing, and we can all kind of connect that way. This is our reflection pool. That's kind of like if you need any snacks, hygiene items, you can find them there. Also, we have A&T students who bake and make cupcakes, and so those are sold in there as well. So yeah, I think overall A&T does a really good job of like allowing you to showcase your talents and just support you in anything you do. Because even when we go to Harrison, I'll talk about we have different showcases for talent. So really you can really make your way here and express yourself. And then right there, that's where our ballroom is at. So yes, a lot in the student center. So starting on the left side, we have Martino Hall, and that's where we have our math classes, our physics classes. Behind it, we have Barnes Hall, so that's for your chemistry and biology classes as well. On the right side, on the far back, we have our College of Business, and so that's Merrick and Craig. Something really cool about the College of Business is they have incubators, and so if you're an entrepreneur and have a business you're trying to get off the ground, they have resources for you, connections you can make, and then you're around other students, so that's another resource. And so even if you're not a College of Business student, you can take advantage of the incubators there. Also, they have like Shark Tank like pitch offs throughout the year, and so those are company sponsored, and so if anything, you get experience, you might get an internship or just a good connection out of that. Next to it, we have Crosby Hall, so that's for your English classes. Your journalism mass communications classes will be in Crosby. And then as you see right here, we have our Paul Robeson Theater. So they actually have a play going on right now called Pretty Fires. They're award-winning, top 5 ranked by Black Broadway for programs that help African American performers. So definitely amazing. Again, free to students, so really any event is going to be free to students, whether it's sporting, social event, or a play right here. So definitely take advantage of that. I think our school has so much culture and history behind it. It's an amazing way to just, get the experience as a college student. So yeah, this is the academic quad. In the far distance, you see our Truist Stadium. We call it Aggie Stadium, though it's Aggies. So that's where we have, of course, our homecoming football game coming up, our track events. So really any game, though, you just look around into the sea of blue and gold. I love going there for the band, so we have our blue and gold marching machine, our golden delight. It's just amazing. Like, I don't know if y'all have seen videos of them going into the stands, but it's just a true experience. So really excited for you all when you come here to get that experience. They have tailgating afterwards, they have vendors, so I love it here. I'm really sad that I'm leaving in May. But we have homecoming to come back to, so I'll be alright. Any questions about academic quad before we go to the student center? Alright. I'll also point out, because we're not really going to pass by, but in that far distance we have new science building, and so that's where we have our psychology classes, also our psychology, and I believe it's more chemistry classes in there. But yeah, that's in the distance. Let's go ahead and walk through the student center. this was Corbett. So as you can see, it was kind of set up. So we had coordination last night. And so coordination was for Mr. and Miss ANC, Mr. and Miss Freshman, sophomore, senior, and then every organization has a Mr. and Miss. And so that position is really for like community service. And really just being the face of the organization. So it's really cool. Everyone was dressed up. Beautiful event. And then tonight we have a fashion show. And so it's kind of like, I think, decades theme from like the 70s to like 2000s. So yeah, that was the kind of transition that you saw in there. But generally in Corbett, this is where we have our kinesiology department. We have our sports science and fitness management department here. On the other side, you might have seen an Olympic-sized pool. And so that's where it's housed on campus. Corbett really takes on a lot of different faces and has a lot of different events. So as you saw, coordination and then the fashion show. We also have, I think, a comedy show for Aggie Fest. We have concerts in here sometimes. Also, of course, basketball games. So I love our basketball games. They're really high energy. We have a DJ. And it's kind of like the football stadium energy, but it's a little different because everybody's inside. But if you come early, you can sit on the jog pound, which is the bottom level. So it's just like a really cool experience. I'm excited for our first football game. And also in here, we have our fall career fair. And so A&T really prepares you for life after college and also for internships during the summer. So that's where we have 300 plus employers for all different majors coming looking to hire Aggies. And so that's where you come with like your resume in hand, your elevator pitch. And leading up to the event, they'll have like events to network with companies so you can kind of get comfortable before you go to the full event. And then also mock interviews in Murphy Hall, which we'll pass by later, and get your resume critique. So you'll be more than prepared. But yeah, it's not unheard of to have an internship every summer. And like I said, a lot of Aggies do come back to hire Aggies. So that's something that I really loved about at least my freshman year, knowing that I was being looked for. But any questions about Corbett before I move on?
Oh, actually, what internships have you done, like coming from your freshman year to your senior year?
Yeah, so after my freshman year, I got to do research in China for 6 years. I was in Nanjing. And that was just through talking to the honors director. We were at a dinner and I was like, I want to learn Chinese, I want to travel. And at the time I was kind of thinking about research or like industry. And so she's like, oh, I actually know a faculty member who like goes to China every summer and takes students. And so from there I just applied and got the internship. Didn't even know it was possible. The next summer I was hired by an Aggie alum to work at it's Amatech, so it's like a mechanical engineering company, but they had a medical device division for BME students. So I interned there. And then last summer I was at Medtronic, more like in the medical devices, and then I have a full-time offer now. So yeah, just keep up with the networking. I was also, fun fact, not really fun, but I was rejected my freshman year from the Amatech, but I just kind of kept that connection going, and so they remembered me, and then the next year I was given the opportunity. So yeah, every no is not, like when you get a no or a closed door, it's just another one's open, you just have to turn around.
You said you're the honors program?
Mm-hmm.
So did you have the opportunity to stay in the honors dorm the entire time?
Yes, so I just moved off campus because I wouldn't have a kitchen, but those dorms are open. I have a friend who's a senior and she's still in there. It'll be Blair and McNeil that will pass by. And on that note, no residence hall is like closed to a certain classification. It's just whatever experience and residence hall you want to live in. So like we have traditional style that I'll talk about on the tour. We have suite style. I stayed in a single my first 2 years because I wanted my own space but could still talk to people within my suite. And so as a freshman you can get that. You just have to select it. gym. As you can see, a lot of high quality equipment. And so typically we have AAT students who are really passionate about fitness that are trainers here. So they would walk around if you ever needed assistance. Or of course, if you already had your regimen, you can just come in and do what you want to do. If you're someone who likes more class type exercises, we have that middle room. So they would have A&T students host like dance classes or kind of more like focused classes like on your core, cardio, or flexibility. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff in the Blue Gym. How we adjusted to the pandemic is we only allow 25 people per hour, and then they clean in between the hours. So it's been working pretty well, and yeah, I like our gym.
Is it open 24 hours?
No, so it's yeah, they have new hours, but it closes around midnight, Monday, Thursday, and then 9 p.m. on Friday.
Oh.
Also in here, so we have intramural sports, so that's if you don't want to join like the school team but still want to play the sport, you can connect with other people, whether it's like volleyball, basketball, things of that nature. So all those offices are in here as well. But any questions about the Blue Gym or recreation center? All right. On the third level, we have our Center of Academic Excellence. So that's where you can go to talk to counselors if you need to like any support on where you're going after graduation or even throughout college. And also we have a tutoring area. So if you're a student who loves a particular subject, you can work there, or if you need support in a particular subject, you can get support there as well. So definitely a lot of good stuff in this building, the academic classroom building. So any questions before we move on? All right. So I'll keep it moving.